The second question is, write these decimals as fractions in their lowest term. That means the fraction that you get, you have to convert the fractions in their lowest term. Remember the chapter fraction? Now we used to convert fractions to lowest term. So first duty is to convert the decimal into fraction, then that fraction into lowest term. Okay. So first let us convert this 0.2 decimal into fraction. So this is the fraction that we get out of 0.2. Okay, we write 2 in the numerator. In the denominator, to replace the decimal sign, we give 1. And after decimal on the right side, how many digit? 1 digit, so 1 0. That means 2 by 10. Now this 2 by 10, we have to reduce it. Okay, let us reduce it. So here it is. The numerator 2 can be written as 2 into 1. Denominator 10 can be written as 2 into 5. 2 into 5 is 10. So what common factor we get? 2. 2 in numerator, 2 in denominator. Cancel this common factor, and then whatever the fraction that remains, that is our lowest fraction in the lowest term. So this is the result. The common factor, that is 2, I cancel. So we have only 1 by 5 remaining. This 1 by 5 is our fraction in the lowest term. Let's do the next one. It will be more clear to us. So the next one is part 2. The decimal that is given to us is 0.04. And to convert this 0.04 into fraction, now we all know the method already. We write 4 without the decimal in the numerator. Then in the denominator point, to replace point we give 1. And after point on the right side, how many digits? 2 digits, so 2 zeros. So this decimal, when you convert in fraction, we get 4 by 100. Now let us reduce this 4 by 100. So here 4 by 100, numerator 4 can be written as 4 into 1. Denominator 100 can be written as 25 into 4. 25 into 4 is 100. So you can see both numerator and denominator, 4 is the common factor. Cancel these two common factors, and the remaining that you will get is 1 by 25. That will be the lowest term. Okay, so those two common factors, 4 I cancel. So the remaining 1 is in the numerator, 25 is in the denominator. So 1 by 25 is our fraction in the lowest term. So 0.04, when you write in the fraction in the lowest term, it is 1 by 25. Third question is 0.008. Now 0.008, I have first converted it into fraction. We write 8 without the decimal, 8 in the numerator, and in the denominator, point to be replaced by giving 1, and after a point on the right side, 3 digits are there, isn't it? So 3 zeros. So 8 by 1000 is the fraction, but it is not in the lowest term. Let us reduce it in the lowest term. So 8 can be written as 8 by 1, numerator. 1000 can be written as 8 into 125. 8 into 125. So 8 and 8 are the common factors, both numerator and denominator. So 8 will cancel out each other, and the remaining will be 1 by 25. That will be our answer, the fraction in the lowest term. Okay, so this is our answer, 1 by 125. Okay, here's the fourth part for you. 0.075. First of all, it is converted to fraction. 75 by 1000 it is. I hope by now you all must know how to convert, so I am not going to explain anymore. So 75 can be written as 25 into 3. 1000 can be written as 25 into 40. Okay, you can reduce it, 25 into 40. So 25 is common, cancel it out. We have 3 by 40 as our lowest fraction in the lowest term. I am skipping 5, 6 and 7 and going directly to 8. 5, 6 and 7 I am leaving to you to do by yourself as homework. Now let us convert this into fraction first. As usual, we write the number without the decimal as it is, without the decimal. 13125 here, 13125. No decimal is here. And in the denominator, this point should be removed. So to remove point, we give 1 in the denominator, and on the right side of point, as many digits, that many zeros we give. So 3 digits are there, so I give 3 zeros. So when you convert this decimal into fraction, you get 13125 divided by 1000. Now this has to be reduced. Okay, this has to be reduced. Now here is the fraction. I am using 5 stable to cancel both of them. I hope by now you all know how to cancel. This also you could have done by cancellation method. Okay, so I am using 5 stable. With 5 stable, if I divide this, I'll get 2625. 5 stable, if I divide 1000, I'll get 200. Again 2625 and 200 also, when you use 5 stable, you divide 2625 by 5, you will get 525. You divide 200 by 5, you will get 40. 525 again with 5 stable, if you divide, you will get 105. 40 if you divide with 5 stable, you will get 8. Now 105 and 8 have no other factors in common. So these two are, they are the numerator and denominator in the lowest form. Okay. Now this need to be converted into mixed fraction. So here it is for us. I have divided 105 by 8 stable. So I get in the question 13, in the remainder 1. So when you convert it into mixed fraction, it is 13 1 by 8. So 13.125 converted into fraction is 13 1 by 8. Now there is another method also by which you can do it. Let me show that to you. Now here is that other method that I was talking about. Now 13.125, you can separate it and write 13 separately and 0.125 or 0.125 separately. So 13 plus 0.125. Now 13 will be 13 only, no need to change anything with that. This 0.125, this is the decimal that we have to convert into fraction. So there I have converted for you 0.125 into fraction. So as usual, without the decimal, the number that is there, I'll write in the numerator. Point is 1, after point 3 digits, so 3 zeros. So 0.125 is converted to fraction as 125 by 1000. Now this you need to reduce. Let us reduce this. So there, 125 can be written as 25 into 5. 25 into 5 is 125. 1000 can be written as 25 into 40. 25 into 40 is 1000. So common factor 25, you cancel it out. So there, the common factor is 25. You cancel 25 in the numerator as well as denominator, you will get 5 by 40. No need to do anything with 13. 13 will be 13 only as it is. Alright, so we have 13 plus 5 by 40. But this 5 by 40 also can be reduced further. Let's see how. There you see, 5 can be written as 5 into 1. 40 can be written as 5 into 8. 5 into 8 is 40. 5 into 1 is 5. So again 5 common factor is there between numerator and denominator, that you cancel it out. So only 1 by 8 is there. So you have 13 plus 1 by 8. So 13 plus 1 by 8 is 13 1 by 8. Same answer we got in this method also, isn't it? See, check out this answer. Same method. Same answer with this particular method also you will get. The third question says change these fractions to decimal, that is by division. So the first fraction is 1 by 5. This fraction we need to change it to decimal. So 1 by 5 actually can be written as 1 divided by 5. 1 numerator divided by 5 denominator. Now this we have to do division. I'll show you how we do it. So here 1 should be divided by 5. So our 1 is the dividend that we have to divide. 5 is the divisor. So 5 will be here. With 5 we are going to divide 1. But as you can see, 1 is smaller than 5. How can we divide a smaller number by a bigger number? So what we have to do for this is, we will give a decimal point here in the quotient. Putting this decimal point will fetch us 1 0 that we can write with 1. Okay, with this decimal only 1 0 you can put over here. This is the rule to convert this fraction to decimal. If the number that you're dividing is small, so you put a point and bring 1 0 here. So now it becomes 10. 10 is more than 5. Now you can, with 5 you can divide 10 easily. So 5, how much is a 10? 5 2s are 10. Okay. So as you can see, now we put 10. 10 minus 10, 0. Remainder comes 0. So our division stops over here. So our answer is the question. What is the question? 0.2. So our answer is 0.2, or we have a practice of giving a 0 on the left side of point. So 0.2. So 1 by 5 in fraction can be changed to decimal as 0.2. Second question, we have the fraction 7 by 8. 7 by 8 means 7 divided by 8. So 7 is our divisor, it will be in the middle. That we have to divide by 8. So 8 is 7 is the dividend, 8 is our divisor. But as you can see, 7 is smaller than 8. So how do we divide a number which is smaller than the divisor? So for that again we have to put a point over here. So putting that point over there fetches 1 0 over here. So 7 becomes 70. Now 70 is bigger than 8. Now we can easily divide. So 8, let us now put what is that required number which will fetch us a number nearby to 70. So as you can see, 8 multiplied with 8 fetches us 64, which that is nearby to 70. So 70 minus 64 is 6. Now this 6 is again smaller than 8. It is not 0, so we cannot stop our division over here. So we have to continue till remainder comes 0. So now already, since we have put a point here, we can give a 0 here. Just like how you put a 0 over here, you can put a 0 because of this point being put over here. So for this particular point, bring a 0 over here. So there's my 0 with 6. So it's 6 now becomes 60. Now we can use 8 and see what number comes near to 60. So 8 into 7 is 56, which is nearby to 60. So 60 minus 56 is 4. Again it is not 0, so we cannot stop our division. And since 4 is smaller than 8 and we have the point already put here, so for this point we can put down another 0 over here. So there is our 0. So 4 now becomes 40. Now let's see, with 8 what number should we bring in the quotient which will give us 40? 8 5s are 40, so we will write a 5 over here. So there, 8 5s are 40. 40 minus 40 is 0. Finally we got our remainder 0 that we were looking for. So now we can stop our division. So what is our answer? Our answer is 0.875. Okay, so 7 by 8 converted into decimal is 0.875. So there is our answer, 0.875. And we have a practice of giving a 0 on the left side of point. So 0.875 is our answer. The next question is quite easy. The question is 3 by 5. That is 3 divided by 5. So 3 should be divided by 5, but 3 is smaller than 5. So I put a point over here and bring 0. So 3 is now 30. So 5, how much is 30? 5, 6 is 30. Directly we get the remainder 0. So our division stops right here and our answer is 0.6. 0.6 or 0.6. So next question is 17 by 40. So 17 divided by 40. 17 should be divided by 40, but 17 is smaller than 40. So same method, what we will do as we had done over here, we put a point. So we will put a point here also and bring a 0. So there I put a point there, brought 0. So now 40 into 4 gives us 160. 160 is near about to 170. So 170 minus 160 is 10. We cannot stop. 0 we did not get, no remainder. So we will continue. So 10 is smaller than 40. So to increase the value of 10, since we have already put decimal, we can bring 1 0 here. So there is our 0. 10 becomes 100 now. Now let us say with 40, what number can we bring in the quotient which will bring us near about 100. So 40 into 2 gives us 80, which is nearby 100. So 100 minus 80 is 20. Again 20 is not 0, so we cannot stop our division. And 20 also is smaller than 40. So we have to increase the value of 20. So how do we do that? Already decimal is there. So 1 0 you can bring down here. So there 20 becomes 200. Now we can check out with 40 what to bring in the quotient, which will give us 200 or near about 200. So there we see 40 into 5 gives us 200. So 200 minus 200, 0. So finally we get our remainder 0 and we can stop our division here. So what is our answer? Our answer is 0.425. The quotient is 0.425. So 0.425 or 0.425. Our next question is 5 13 by 64. Can also be written as 5 plus 13 by 64. Now our 5 is a whole number, so we will not change 5 or do anything with 5. Our problem is with 13 by 64. This is a fraction that needs to be changed to decimal. So I am going to convert 13 by 64 into decimal. So for that, 13 needs to be divided by 64 and 13 is smaller than 64, so I put a point and bring 0 here. So 13 becomes 130. Now I can try 64 into something which will give us near about to 130. So 64 into 2 gives us 128, which is the nearest to 130. Remainder we get 2. 2 is not 0, so our division cannot stop. So we have to increase the value of 2. So since we have put 1 point already, we can bring 1 0 down here. So I brought 1 0 down there. But bringing 0 down there only made 2 to 20. But 20 is still smaller than 64, right? So now again we cannot bring one more point there. Already 1 point is given. So now what we will do is, in the quotient, we have to give a 0 there next to this 2. And then we can bring another 0 here. So there I gave a 0 here, which brought one more 0 down here. This is the method in division. If you want to put a 0 here, then you have to put 1 0 in the quotient and then only you can bring 1 0 down there. So now let us see with 64, which number should I multiply it and bring it in the quotient and brings it near about to 200. So 64 into 3 gives us 192. This is the nearest that you can bring to 200. So 200 minus 192 is 8. 8 is again smaller. So with point you have there, you can bring 1 0 down here. Okay. So with 64 I did with 1 and I brought 64 down here. And 80 minus 64 is 16. Again it's not 0, so we can't stop there. So we can put 1 0 since you have given a decimal sign. So with 64 I did with 2, which brought 128. 64 2s are 128. So 160 minus 128 is 32. Again it's not 0, we can't stop. So since we have put a decimal, you can bring a 0 down here and change 32 to 320. So 64 into 5. Okay, 64 into 5 is 320. Now finally we get 320 minus 320 is equal to 0. So we got 0 remainder. We'll stop here now. So our answer is 0.203125. So this 13 by 64 which we were converting, 13 by 64 which we were converting to decimal is this much. So 5 13 by 64 will become 5.203125. Okay, for 13 by 64 we got 0.203125, and of course there is this 5 will not be changed, 5 will be as it is. Right after 5 this 0.203125, because 13 by 64 is 0.203125. So 5 13 by 64 will be 5.203125. Now rest of them from question number 3 I am leaving it for you to do homework. And as for the remaining questions, that is from question number 4 onwards, we will do in the next class.